Hi Stampers, welcome to Did You Stamp Today with Amanda Mertz. Today I am going to show you how to make a super cute little Valentine's Day card with a fun pop-up feature on the inside. So when you open it, this little bee and heart pop open, and it's a really simple way to make a little surprise inside the card. You could do bees, frogs, any little animal, rainbows, clouds, whatever works with your design. But we're going to make one of these. Here's one with a pool party base. My stampers made this in class last week, and it was really fun, and I want to give them a way to reference the measurements and stuff to make at home. So let's get started. All right, let's get started on making our cute little bee Valentine's Day cards with the fun pop-up element on the inside. You're gonna need whatever tool you use to score, and you're gonna need 2 pieces of 5.5 by 4 7/8. So this side is just slightly smaller than this side. So this is your normal 5.5 width. So you're going to need 2 of those. And I just want to point out that when you're planning your project, especially if you're going to be making multiples, you'll not be able to get 2 card bases out of 1 sheet of cardstock. So you're going to have your regular, you can get your 5.5 width, but then this is what you're going to be left with. So you cannot get 2 card bases from one regular 8.5 by 11. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that when you're cutting. So you're going to score, you're going to line up your 4 1/4 or 4 7/8, and you're going to score at 4 1/4. And I've already done this just because these are leftover projects from my class. I pre-scored them just for one less step for my ladies to do it. But so you're going to score those, and this flap coming down, that's what's going to give you the right size. So then you end up with a regular A2 size. So you're going to have your 5.5 and then your 4 1/4. So by scoring on that 7/8, you're going to get those 2 little flaps. So let me pull out the rest of my tools and we'll get started putting everything together. All right, now that we've got our bases scored, we're going to add some tear tape along the top folds. And I just want to make sure it's a good idea to give your flaps a nice score, otherwise your card base will kind of pop open as you're trying to put the other elements together. So you don't want to be trying to stamp or line something up and then they pop open on you. So you're going to, a little bit of tear and tape. You can use a red sticky tape. You could use glue, but this I know will stick for sure. And since it is kind of a moving mechanism inside the card, you want to make sure that everything stays secure. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to use, let me get out my little acetate strips. You can acetate window sheets, and these are really hard to see. I don't know if you can see those, but these are about 1/2 inch by 3 inches, 2.5 inches. And these are probably a little bit longer than what you're going to need for the end product, but I just made them a little bit longer so that they could easily be seen, and you can trim them to the size you want for the inside of your card. So after you get your tear tape, just pick one, and again, this is going to fold your flap down towards the inside of the card. Pull your paper off and line up the window sheet adhesive strips. I think these are acetate strips that I cut from pieces of acetate that my mother-in-law had when she retired from being a teacher from back in the day. You know, I used to make those transparencies. All right, so just stick them down, facing down into the card. You're going to peel off your strip from your second, and then you're just going to line up the 2 flaps. I'm going to try not to stick my head over the camera so you can see it. And then give it a good burnish. I don't know if you can see that, but there's our little window sheets that pop up. The next thing we're going to do is going to show you how to attach the pieces. I've already got my bee, my wings. And let's see, I'm missing one more thing. What am I missing? Where are my, there we go, my hearts. They were hiding underneath. So I just pre-punched those because you guys all know how to stamp and punch pieces out. So what you're going to do is you're going to use tear and tape again. You can use glue. I found that the glue, if you're not super careful, ends up kind of squishing out on the acetate, and you could just get a glue bulging out of the sides and just kind of smearing. So the tear and tape is a lot less, I think, fussy and far less messy. So you're going to peel these off. Actually, let me get my scissors. I'm just going to trim these off just a little bit. Like I said, you can have them going kind of two different heights, so it's not so matchy-matchy, but I just made them a little bit longer so you could do however you would want. And you're just going to stick one heart on that side, and then you're going to line up a second heart on this side, just for a nice clean look. Oops, I didn't get that really lined up, but y'all will do better than I will. All right, and then the same thing we're going to do with the bee. After we put him together, I just use a little bit of glue, little tiny dots, to attach the wings and the antenna. And then the antenna right there. And I punched out a second just plain. You could stamp the backside with just the stripes and leave the face off so it looks like the other side of the bee, but I'm not going to get that crazy on this one, since I really just want to show you how the card comes together. So we're just going to cover that up. Oops. Do what I do. Don't do what I do. Oh, well, like I said, I'm going to show you how the glue smears out, but you're going to cover it all with that one, so it doesn't really matter. I should have totally put the glue down when I was ahead of the game. So, but see how the glue kind of smears? So if you're using a smaller surface area, it's definitely going to squeeze out over the top. So, but the backing of the bee definitely takes care of that too much. But you just want to be sure that you don't want to get the glue everywhere, because then it won't pop open. It'll just be stuck down. But there we go. So that pops open, and that's the inside of our card. We're going to add a strip of the Bee My Valentine Designer Series paper. We're just going to do a strip of that down on the bottom. And there we go. Trim off the edge. It's just slightly too long. And let me find my sentiment. And I'm just going to do just a Happy Valentine. That's in the Bee My Valentine set. Show that one real quick. That's the Bee My Valentine. And then this is the punch. I already had the pieces pre-punched, but these are the ones that we used for the inside. So we're just going to stamp Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, got a little dark. Glue that down. And then the front of the card is really pretty basic. I didn't want to make it too complicated because of all the steps. Like I said, we did this in a class, and for all those demonstrators out there, you know that things that you can do on videos at home where it's just you doing the project can be quite different than when you're in a class setting with, 5 people at a table putting it together. So I kept the rest of the card pretty basic. We're going to put a piece of sweet sorbet across the front, right in the middle. Oop, hopefully I didn't get my head in that. See all my frizzy hair. All right, and then I've got, Doing a horrible job lining things up today. All right. But that's real stamping, isn't it? Just gonna do a piece of scrap paper over my foam mat just so I can get a very good image. I'm going to start with my wings. I'm gonna stamp those in Pool Party. And as I told my stampers in the class, I wanted to start with the wing up here, so then you make sure you have plenty of room to do your bee. If you put your bee body down first, there's a chance you won't have enough room at the top for the wings. So stamp my bee wings first, and then we're going to do the bee body in Daffodil Delight. My blocks are still very messy from my class, so we're going to ink that up. All right, and I'm gonna do right like that. There we go. And next we're gonna do the stripes. So, and that's just in Memento Black or whatever black you prefer. That's always up to you what your preferred supplies are. All right, and I'm gonna stand up and see so I can line this up without putting my head over the top of the camera. All right, see how that goes. Oh, bummer. Oh well, there was a bit of fuzz on, probably Labrador fur. I've got 2 Labradors, so look. All right, let's set that one aside, and I'm gonna pull out another rectangle, and I'll show you all over again. So double check the rest of my stamps, make sure they don't have any fur. That can be the problem sometimes with having furry friends, huh? The fur just kind of gets everywhere, especially places you don't want it. So just ink this one up again and line it up. There we go. And we'll give this one another shot. So I'm going to stand up and try to get the stripes lined up without covering up the camera. I know this is not like exciting stamping, everyone, but mostly making the video to show you guys how to put together not the best lineup. But mostly it's really just to show you how to put this part together for the inside. So the rest is all extra, if you will. So we're going to give him a little smiley face. We're going to give him some little antenna. And we're going to do Be Mine. And then we're done with the black. And then next is the flower element, which is super easy. I've put both of the flower stem die or stamps on the same block, so you can just ink up once and stamp. And I'm using the lemon lime twist. We're just gonna do that one right there. And it looks like I need to re-ink my lemon lime twist. That makes sense after having a class where it's about 15 people using the supplies. Things tend to get a little dry after everyone's gone. Now we're going to do the flowers in soft or Sweet Sorbet. Sweet Sorbet is one of the ink colors that will be retiring the end of April or beginning of May. What's the exact date? I don't have that in front of me. So when this catalog retires on April 30th, the Sweet Sorbet, Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis, Parakeet Party, and Tahitian Tide set of ink colors will be retiring. So if you don't have re-inkers for these, I would suggest ordering them sooner rather than later. If you put them in an order now, it could bump you up to get you over those celebration rewards, so you can earn a freebie for a $50 order. So don't wait to order those. You don't want to be stuck with dry ink pads once the colors retire. So we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of our bee panel and peel off the backing. See how I said the card will pop up? So give it a good burnish with your bone folder. Pop this one up. And we're going to use some bordered ribbon in the sweet sorbet also. I'm just going to tie a knot. Like I said, the front of this card is pretty basic. It's just using some ink and the stamps from the Be My Valentine stamp set. I'm going to press to a glue dot, put this one over to the side, and then the final touch, we're going to add some, let's see, what do I have left here? We're going to add some of these enamel shape elements. These are adhesive backed hearts and flowers, and this one is more of a full sheet. Oh, there you go. That's easier to see. We've got hearts and flowers and 2 different sizes for each. But since this one is already way down on the sheet of being used, I'm just going to use some of these. I'm just going to sprinkle a couple of these in. And let's see, maybe this one, he's all by himself. There we go. And there you have it. You've got your Be Mine Valentine's Happy Day and the pop-up on the inside. So when you're opening it, boom, you get this little guy popping up with his little heart. You can put 2 bees in there. You can put the bee facing the heart. I went the other way just because that was already stamped and punched out. But however you want to do it. But this is a super cute, easy way to make a fun pop-up element inside of a card. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day.